VVVTune. VVVTune.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, or well, good morning, excuse me. This is a tutorial on tech, on what speed running technique I was able to learn from my 10 hours of running Neptunia Virtual Stars for the PlayStation 4, but run on a PlayStation 5 system. Now, this won't go in depth into strats just yet. I just want to explain some tech, specifically pertaining to, how should I say it, certain characters, or, for example, how to switch certain characters on the fly to, how should I say it, run the game better than usual or more casual playthrough. So I'm just going to load I believe an original, not original save file, but a completely finished file. Where was it? This one right here. This one is a completed file, level 100, whatever, completely done. Doesn't really matter about levels, but the big thing is tech. Now, I'm going to go to Kukunia, since that is mostly the large tech side of the game, in my eyes. It's one of the largest tech sides of the game for me on how to try and, make runs. Or, well, it's the hardest place in the run, basically. So, first things first, if you don't know how to play the game, you shoot with R2 or you shoot with Swift. Then you all can also jump, and you can also dash with these CPUs, and you can move around and do certain movements. The VTubers, as you can see, they have a different playstyle. What they can do is they can dash twice in the air, and you can chain it together. Now, as for anything pertaining to like dashing, like I'll just use this straight for an example. So if you dash straight for a long time, what happens with the CPUs is they'll do this roll once you finish. But what you can do is you can cancel that roll. I'm actually going to remove the remake because I have Goddess Boost up. But let's say I remove it, for example. How do I remove things? Is there anything that's removed? Well, just put something on that doesn't have boost. Okay, so as you can see, this is the normal boost rate. Where if you boost, and then your CPU will roll after. What you can do to cancel that is, I believe for me, usually I do like an 8-second timer in my head. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, jump, dash down, and do it again. And this extends the boost time without having to go through the roll animation. If you do it any time during it, usually I do it like 8 seconds. You can do it at any time. But it basically makes it so you have unlimited boost when you use your goddess boost or whatever it's called. So you basically can do it unlimited. You can practice around here, you can practice in the area, but usually I do it to make sure that through long stretches like Kukunia, for example, that I don't have to constantly stop, roll, and do that. But if you do this, and then if you jump, click the left stick, and press O again, then you can continue the dash, regardless of whatever's in front of you or such. So, like, again, for long stretches like Kukunia, Novelia with a lot of it, jumping, which I'll get to the VTubers in just a second. But for Kukunia specifically, with its long stretches, and the same thing for Twinia as well, which has long stretches, some jumps, but for the most part, you're basically doing this goddess dash around, and you're chaining it together to make sure that you can go as fast as humanly possible instead of doing all this crazy movement and such that really it's hard to get used to. I usually try to not I try to chain it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes like for example, I'll do this and get out and jump, but then I'll start walking because I don't press O in time. But I try and chain it as much as possible. Now, I'm going to go show the VTubers. Now, they have a little property that allows them to go around and jump farther or faster than other characters, or the other characters, the CPUs, as they would call them, or goddesses in this game. But what you can do is, I'm going to show you on these wafers over in this section. I can show you on the lemons over here, but I think it's more of a pressing example that I show on the macaroons over here, or the wafers. So, as you can see, CPUs do not have a dash in there. They just have a double jump, which is good, and as you can see, they do make it over, but not as fast as the VTubers will, as I'll show you in just a second. Let me get back over, and I can show you real quick. So, VTubers, they have a double jump. Let me switch to Vice, because Vice is better. Or, is it Vice? I don't remember the names. So basically, what you can do is you can double jump, and then you can start dashing. And you can clear it a lot faster than you would with the CPU. And again, they can also dash down, but you can't chain a dash into a dash down unless you hit the ground. I've done it before where I've dashed and done a double dash in the air, but usually it doesn't chain it. It just doesn't extend it. All it does is you have to reach the ground to make a second dash. So, unfortunately, you can't infinite chain like the CPUs, where you can jump down, dash, and infinite, but it's still infinitely better. Like Neptunia and Novella just start dashing like crazy and move around the map a lot more. Now, I think that's all really the dash tech and such to move around certain maps pretty fast. I'm actually going to go to Novella right now and show you where Novella is very, very heavy on the dashing element of the VTubers. But again, it's more just, chain dashing and then eventually getting to the point where the VTubers are dashing a lot more in Novella instead of the CPUs doing the dash. But as you can see, I'm sort of just chaining all the dashes together and running around, shooting, doing all the such. But for the most part, once you start getting into the habit of creating the dashes and finishing the dashes up and down, you can chain them together infinitely, and it makes areas in the speedrun, like Neptunia, just more of execution than actually destroying enemies. Because there's barely any of those mandatory rooms. So, example right here. So as you can see, there is a long stretch of jumps and such that CPUs sort of struggle with. You don't go over there at all. I have no idea what's over there. But as you can see, CPUs have a dash and they're really slow against these platforms. If you switch to the VTubers and jump and double dash, you can get over them very easily. And then again, you can just switch to the CPUs for any damage. That's usually how I switch in the run. I usually switch to CPUs to dash, and then to VTubers to dash across these platforms, and really make it super simple to, run through it as fast as humanly possible. Well, again, I'm not calling myself fast as humanly possible, but currently the world record holder. Unfortunately, 7 minutes behind my PB yesterday, but anyways, world record holder nonetheless. But yeah, so far, that's probably going to be it for the tech portion. There's really anything else. It's more execution-based for the speedrun, and cube RNG, which, oh boy, I'll get into in another episode. But, yeah, that's about it for the tech. Again, CPUs, infinite dash, you can run around, jump, dash down, and again, to make sure that you can dash. And for VTubers, they have a lot of mobility in the air. You double jump, you dash twice, you can dash down again. And then even for this stuff, this is one of the mandatory parts for me, because you can shoot this with the CPUs, but it takes a agonizingly long time. So all you have to do is double jump, dash, run, double jump, dash, and you can double jump again. and you don't even have to shoot these cubes. And then you're on to mid-boss novella. So again, this has been, I believe, Mugen93. I forget my names on Twitch and YouTube. But this has been Mugen93 on Neptunia Virtual Stars Speedrun Tech. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.